Hi, this is Professor Ford for our 12th and final module. Here we are in energy, environment, climate change. Let's see what we've got. Well, first of all, the California energy shortage. Oh my goodness. That had economists both laughing and pulling their hair out. What happens when you hold the price below the market clearing price? You've created a shortage. Okay? Out of thin air, you've created a shortage. That's what politicians in California did, trying to, I guess, endear their constituents by keeping energy cheap. Well, that created shortages, and then they had to figure out ways to ration the shortage. They would have days where these high-tech firms, they'd say, okay, Wednesday you get power. Okay, so they'd be making these chips or whatever, and they'd be right partway through production. And, it's where you've got to have the power all day or it's going to ruin the whole thing. And then halfway through the day, there's a blackout, no power. Shopping malls the power would go out, the mall would be dark. So it was a nightmare. So the funniest thing about this, though, is this was a headline. This was front page, above the fold, San Francisco Chronicle. Says some generators withhold power rather than abide by rate caps. Okay, yeah. Well, let's go down here. This is the funny part. Don Soderberg, chairman of the Nevada, this is California and Nevada, a lot of the West. California was buying power from everybody due to the shortage. But anyway, said that the sudden power emergency took state authorities by surprise and that they were investigating to see what role federal price limits may have had in exacerbating Monday's shortage. Well, it's called the law of supply. We're looking very closely at this. He said there seems to be a potential for unintended consequences. Really? Okay, sorry for my editorial commenting. Specifically, Soderberg said that Nevada is focusing on operators of older, less efficient plants who would find profit margins shrinking, if not vanishing, under cap prices. We're going to look to see how caps might have played into this, he said. Well, you know what? Any principles of microeconomics students in California or Nevada, thousands of them, could have answered this question with no problem. Okay, well, that's there for your viewing pleasure and a little bit of amusement. Are we running out of natural resources? This article is interesting because it's written by a guy who's both an economist and an ecologist, and so he's seen both ends of this. And so far, here's the way it works. Okay, we're starting to run out of something. Something starts to become scarce. So what happens to the price? It starts to go up. As the price rises, that creates an incentive to find something else. So you've got people working on this. With the higher prices, it's now economically feasible. But if prices are really low, if something's plentiful and prices are low, you're not looking at alternatives. Well, so far, something new has come along, been invented, been discovered. And again, that's called, we had a whole chapter on this, new technology. New technology has come through every time so far, knock on wood. All right, and what else we got here? Oh, yes. I just want to point out something. There was a whole issue on global warming, or they called it a warming world, or climate change as it's now referred to most of the time, from just last fall. Let me say this, okay? And this is one of the reasons I put this in here. Oh boy, where do I start? A lot of young people think that there's no reason to prepare themselves for a career because the earth is going to burn up in 10 years. Anyway, so what's the point? Eat, drink, and be merry, right? For tomorrow we die. Well, That would be very unwise. Okay, we've seen these warnings before. I moved here from Florida. Florida was supposed to be underwater by now, and that was one prediction a while back. As far as I know, the coastline is exactly the same. I don't think it's changed an inch. All the beaches are still there. All the resorts are still there. Everything's still there just as they were. The thing is, we've got a wide range of opinions on how severe this is, and so far the doomsayers have been, their forecasts have made economic forecasting look good. Okay, and that's not very good. If you're making economic forecasting look good, you've got a problem. So the latest in a long line of predictions, guys, I mean a long line that have none of them have ever come to pass or not even close, I guess is thrown about mostly, well, I guess by a lot of politicians. You know, I understand they're trying to create urgency because we need to take action. I get that. But at the same time, it's scaring the hell out of a lot of people. And this is what I want to point out. This paragraph, this good article, I mean, you ought to read it, but let's just read this. To understand that context, it is important to understand all the things that climate change is not. It is not the end of the world. Humankind is not poised, teetering on the edge of extinction. The planet itself is not in peril. Earth is a tough old thing and will survive, and though much may be lost, most of the wondrous life that makes Earth unique, as far as astronomers can yet tell, will persist. So those who are betting on burning up in 10 years and not going to prepare are going to be wishing they hadn't. So I hope none of you are in that category, and but I need to throw that in there because we're seeing that more and more. That is not to say that climate change isn't happening. I never said that, and this article certainly doesn't say that. But it does get into some economically viable solutions. Any solution needs to be economically viable and sustainable, or it is not a solution. So anyway, good article, okay? And that's it for Module 12. Get a little bit about that in the textbook as well. And we will, well, I guess I won't see you again. It's been great having you in class, and good luck to you. Hang in there. It's a crazy, crazy time with this COVID-19. Hope you're all well and stay well. And best of luck to you. Bye-bye.